Hey everybody, Aaron Bishop here from Derech Chai on behalf of the Patterns of Life Bible. Welcome to our Patreon channel. The first question that we usually get when we introduce the Patterns of Life Bible to someone is, well, what is the Patterns of Life Bible? Well, the Patterns of Life Bible is a resource that we're building to help to explore and to develop and to reveal the pattern-based nature of Scripture. Right now, we're focusing primarily on two types of patterns, the chiasm and the parallelism. These patterns are found all through Scripture from beginning to end, and we're trying to bring them to you in a readable and understandable means. The second question we get is, well, why should I care? Why should I care that patterns exist in the Bible? Well, there's a couple reasons for why you should care, especially if you're a student of the Bible or believe that the God of the Bible is the God of creation. And the first one of those is because these patterns, they can help us to understand the original intent of the author. If we can discern the patterns in Scripture, we can see what themes they are highlighting. And then we don't get stuck up in what we expect to see on the page. Rather, we can read what they were intending on the page. Second, patterns help us to understand and to memorize and to remember what we've read. When you see a pattern, the human mind is geared in such a way that patterns stick better than anything else. So if Scripture is just linear and it's just one story being told from beginning to end, then it's much harder to understand. But if it's a pattern that repeats over and over and over again, then our minds have a much easier time, a much better time of grasping hold of it and understanding it. And one of the results of that is it's easier to memorize. So if you want to memorize Scripture, the Patterns of Life Bible is right up your alley. It's just what you need to make it so much easier for you to be able to memorize parts of Scripture. Third, what's in it for me? If I become a Patreon supporter, if I give my hard-earned money to you, what do I get out of it? Glad you asked. First of all, what you get out of it is you get a partner access to our website. Partner access to our website includes a username that you can then log into the website. There are a few website features that go along with that ease your use of the website. But what you get is early access to several books that we're working on. So right now we have the Torah and we have the Gospels and Acts already out there available for public use. We're working currently on the prophets as defined by ancient Judaism. That'll become important later on in the project, why we're choosing to organize the Bible in that way. But for now, just understand that we are doing it in the way that the ancient Judaism viewed the Old Testament. So the prophets include several books that we tend to consider to be history. So as a partner with Patterns of Life Bible, right now you'll get early access to Joshua, Jeremiah, Daniel, and Jonah. 4 prophetic books that are found in Scripture. And hopefully within the next week or two, we're going to be releasing Judges, Joel, Amos, and Obadiah for our partners to be able to view these books before they are released to the public at large. Second, you're going to get exclusive Patreon-only teachings through these patterns. In the past, we've put out several things on Facebook and a couple of our social media platforms that go through these patterns, but you can't get very deep in that sort of a environment, so that sort of a platform. Well, with Patreon, what we can do is we can create videos that you can then view that'll take you much deeper into these patterns, that help us to see these patterns, and we can even connect some of these patterns together in ways that, frankly, I guarantee you've never seen before. So our patrons are going to get exclusive access to these patterns, but we're also going to be exploring some of the symbolic and thematic patterns that are found in Scripture as well. The scope of this project is not limited to chiasm and parallelism. In the future, we're going to be kind of highlighting some of these through the website, but the teachings that we're going to provide to go through those are going to be exclusive to Patreon. So you get exclusive videos teaching through the chiastic and parallelistic nature of Scripture, also through symbolic and thematic access in Scripture. And you're going to get early access to the books as we work on them and not have to wait for our large releases that are going to be done periodically. So with all of that in mind, we hope that you will become a partner or become a patron today and support our efforts to bring the Patterns of Life Bible to the world. Thank you.